Steve Cutler in the chat. Oh my.
That's what I said. Sulu's a fucking asshole now, right? That's him. Sulu and Takei and Shatner have always like hated each other, right? And I never knew why. I thought maybe it's just
really?
like, yeah, they always hated each other. That. I think because Shatner was such a I think he let that role go to his head, and he was just kind of like an asshole on the set. But now I'm like,
Shatnering all over everybody, right?
Yeah, he was Shatner at the time, but now he's just he's like 90 years old. He's got like some of that Star Trek tech that's keeping him alive, I think. I think
he must have talked to Walt Disney. You never know,
right? They pulled his meat and taters off and froze it instead of his head like Walt Disney. They did that cryogenics on him. So I don't know why they'd freeze his dick and balls, but he just 2021, anything goes, right? That's what I'm thinking.
They're gonna clone him. They're gonna Shatner him into a test tube and then remake him.
If they clone Shatner, I think I'd be all right with it. I would like to, if I don't really want to see like a human clone. I think that would be kind of like weird, and we've seen enough movies where that's just a bad idea. But if you're gonna clone Shatner, he's pretty safe. He didn't really.
Why wouldn't you clone me?
Well, you would. Two of you, that would just blow a hole in the space-time continuum. We're pushing the boundaries of science and space as it is with one JayBe. You know what I mean?
I'm gassy, but I'm not that gassy.
You're an entire galaxy of goodness. That's what I was.
Calling me a gas giant?
You're not a dwarf planet, and you're not. I would say.
That's obvious. Look, I put on a few pounds. I know. But
I was talking about your giant brain. Hello, God. Anyway, I go to those crickets way too many times. Anyway. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. How long do you got for me? How long can you stay? I'm putting you on the spot. I know you're an important guy.
I can stay a little bit longer.
Okay, good. More dick jokes, great. I tell people this show devolves at a moment's notice. That's why I like to get all the serious stuff off the front end of the show, because from then on out, this show could go tits up at any time. So, and
tits up.
Ah! Hey, listen, I'm starting to get some moobs. I got a little bit of I'm very lactose tolerant. So hopefully if they get big enough, I could feed. I want to be able to self-sustain myself, because the apocalypse is coming. Everybody knows that shit's gonna happen, and I ain't got a root cellar full of canned beans and shit. So I gotta suck off my teats in order to survive. When I'm pushing that grocery cart down the street with, and the bandits are trying to kill me for my shoes. I'm just saying they can't take my teats, right? If they cut them off, they're no use to them, right? That's like popping a tire. What are you doing? Anyway.
You can take our teats, but you'll never take our freedom.
And it all goes back to the kilts. You're like the Black William Wallace of Orlando. I love it. Would you ever consider getting a kilt? Would you like to wear a kilt?
It depends on the date,
right? And the temperature too. Let's face it.
Look, it depends on the date, because if there's a kilt, then at least if there's dinner. Maybe.
Wait a minute.
It just depends.
If you'd wear a kilt if somebody fed you, I would.
Why not?
I would. Definitely. But I would probably cheapen out even that. I would be like, I'll put it on. My lady's trying to get me to get a kilt. She's always on the lookout for kilts, and I said, well, growing up as a Southern boy in the '70s, wearing a something that isn't pants or shorts may not be too keen. But now, like I said, as I'm older, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll wear a kilt, because those things look badass too, man. I'm not talking about like some thing that they look like it made out of a tablecloth. I'm talking about like there's like layers and levels, and there's like big giant family crests, and I think kilt comes with bagpipes. I'm not sure, but they probably should, because that would be a good
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was not expecting to get this silly.
Wouldn't it be awesome if every single time you fart it sounded like a bagpipe?
If that were the case, then my lady friend sitting next to me would think she was at a Scottish funeral every time we watched a movie together. So we're like, oh man, this movie's great. What the? Who died?
Man, did something die in here?
My Scottish name would be Older McCracken. Ah! That's not a wee one. You smell like a haggis. Oh, who brought the donkey up in here? I can't do a Scottish accent too well because my throat goes out. That's a hard one.
Okay.